Hello friends, Techman Pat here. Today we're checking out the Mega One from Blackview. It is an Android tablet from a company that you may probably not have heard about. But this tablet is going to give a run for a lot of other Android tablet makers' monies, because this is a very good tablet for a very reasonable price. So let's get started with the review of this Mega One from Blackview. Big thanks to them for sending this tablet for review. Let's get started by scratching my face. Let's start off with the specifications, because as is tradition with Chinese-made tablets, or actually any electronics, you can't always trust what's inside. And this has one thing that stands out as a red flag. So let's start with that. It says RAM is 8 gigs, and then it says plus 8 gigs. And that's a little bit weird. You're paying 400 Australian dollars for this tablet, and it's making you think that there's 16 gigs, maybe in 2 slots. But that's not quite true. The 8 is fast, and the second 8 is only storage on the local actual drive that can have an overflow effect for another 8 gigs of RAM. The CPU is an MT6789 octa-core 2.2 GHz boost. I've noticed no slowdowns. This tablet is going to give a lot of trouble to your Samsungs, because at $400, it's doing a really bang up job. But there is something that makes it even better. The screen is 120 Hz. Sure, it's only full HD plus, and the resolution is really odd because it's extremely tall or wide, whichever way you want to look at it. The colors are really nice, and even though it's only LCD, it's still got some nice viewing angles. Yes, if you turn it quite a lot to the side, you'll notice the screen darkens. And at first, when I opened this tablet up, I had a bit of a weird effect on my eyes, and you know what? I was like, oh, this is not that great. But I got used to it pretty quickly, and for the last 2 weeks, I've really enjoyed using this. So what have I actually been using this for? Well, movies, browsing the web, and replying to messages from friends. But typing is a little bit annoying on an extremely white keyboard that pops up at the bottom. So, watching movies. There is a really nice aspect ratio to this tablet to do so. Consuming media that's wide is perfect on this. But I also have to add that the sound capability of this is really darn good. It has 4 firing speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, it gives you stereo. Yes, they're firing away from you, but if you cup your hands, you can probably get a little bit of a better effect. And again, at $400 for such a fairly well-built device is actually not too bad. So as a media consumption device, of course, it's got Bluetooth, and no, it does not have a 3.5mm jack. And I just had to check in case I forgot. Second of all, the build quality. I think they've done a great job. Now, it's metal, it scratches. I've managed to nick it a few times, but it does come with a free case, which is really nice, and a screen protector. So make sure to chuck it on if you want to keep this for longer. I wanted to get the raw experience. It also comes with a pencil, but don't imagine that this is a pencil that is like an Apple Pencil. It's literally just a touch pencil you can get off eBay for $2 that works with all tablets. The 120 Hz refresh rate makes this a dream to use on a desktop and if you're just browsing the web. So I suggest going into the settings and forcing that setting, because it's not going to draw the battery that much more than it already is anyway, and the experience, it's much more fluid when you're browsing around. Now, there are a couple more things I'm going to tell you that's going to make this $400 tablet sound even better to you, and even I was surprised at its capabilities. First of all, it has a 13 megapixel front-facing camera. Great, makes everything look nice when you're taking selfies. And this is the front-facing camera, which I actually don't mind as a front-facing camera, especially when you have phone calls. However, I'm holding the tablet horizontally right now, and if I want to move the tablet vertically, the problem is my thumb ends up right next to the camera, and now when I'm looking at myself, I'm actually offset to the side. So if I move myself like this, the actual tablet is on an angle as opposed to being straight on to me like so, because the camera is right here. So yes, it works much better when you're standing like this. It has face detect, and as I turn around and have some more sunlight in my face, the camera does perform much better. On the back, we have a 50 megapixel camera. And you can see it's quite large. It's a single lens and the photos come out really, really lovely. I have to admit, If I was walking around using this camera to take photos, yes, I would look weird, but at least the photos would look nice compared to an iPad camera.
Okay, this is the test of the 50 megapixel camera recording at full resolution, and of course the audio. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's okay. The video quality could be better. As always, it is an Android tablet, so there is also some magic happening in the actual software to make the image look better. I don't think it's helping that much, as opposed to other brands that, for example, like Samsung, and even though this is a Samsung actual sensor, it's still not as good.
And lastly, it also has a SIM card slot and expansion card slot for memory. So yes, you can go beyond that 256 gig up to 1 terabyte if you've got that little SD card. And the SIM card is capable of 4G connections. So yes, it's not 5G, but again, it's $400 for a tablet that can then connect to the internet as you walk around. Now, what's interesting is because it's Android, there's a lot more capabilities than a standard Apple iPad with an actual SIM card. You can make audio calls on this, which is pretty darn cool. So, all these capabilities are fantastic. Does the software actually bring it all together and give you a good experience? Well, the video recording is up to 2.4K. So it's not 4K recording, but it's pretty darn fluid. There's lots of settings, and the Android skin here provides some real nice capability on the video front. Again, photos are really nice too. The screen and navigation is your typical Android skin, but it feels really fluid and isn't overbearing with malware or spyware. Yes, there's a few bits and pieces installed, but it was quick and easy to remove it. And I have to admit, as far as tablets from China go, this was pretty clean. Security-wise, it has a fingerprint at the top, which I trust the fingerprint side because it also has face unlock, which I definitely do not trust. The problem with that is it's not a depth sensor, it is just your, hey, it looks close enough, typical Android. And you know, Apple has done a fantastic job on Face ID. So it's hard to justify it on a system that doesn't actually come anywhere near that sophistication. But the fingerprint is fast, it's accurate, and you can add multiple fingers, of course. The 8,800 milliamp battery with 33 watt charging means you can charge this up really quickly, but it is very large. Means that you get basically almost 20 hours of straight use. So for 20 days, if you only use it an hour, you've nearly got 3/4 of a month. And honestly, very impressive. I was watching a couple of movies, browsing the web, and the battery got to 50% after a week of usage. So I think this is a great contender to take with you on travel. Now, the website is really hard to read about the functionality of this. They throw a lot of things at the wall and to see what actually sticks. So let me put it to you what's actually worthwhile checking out on this tablet. First of all, the build quality, really nice. The 8,800 milliamp battery with fast charging USB-C, really great, tick the box, good stuff. Then the performance of the CPU inside. It's good, and it's good enough to use every day. Then we have the screen. It's only Full HD Plus, and yes, it's not an OLED, it's an LCD. But again, coming back to that price, this is a very good screen for said price. Then it has the SIM card slot and an extension on the actual storage up to 1 terabyte via an SD card. And the camera and front-facing camera are good enough to justify the use of them rather than ignoring them for the rest of the time. So at $400, this is an extremely capable Android tablet. So if you're used to the Android ecosystem, absolutely, I could recommend this for you. So big thanks to Blackview for sending this for review, much appreciated. I'm so impressed. It's been a while since I've held a good Android tablet in my hand. Links below where you can purchase it, of course, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in another one. Bye!